Hey Virgo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erika. I'm so glad that you found me. Welcome to the channel and thank you for being here. This is your July 2017 tarot card reading. So what I'm going to do is pull 4 cards from the Rider-Waite Tarot. I'm going to pull a card from the Illuminated Tarot deck by Caitlin Keegan for emphasis or clarity on the spread. I'm going to pull you an oracle card from the Divine Circus Oracle deck, and I'm going to round out the reading with a card from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card deck. So Virgo, I'm going to go ahead and grab my cards and start shuffling for you. Let's talk a little bit about some major stuff that will be going on in the month of July. There will be a full moon on the 9th of July. It will be at almost 17 degrees, or at 17 degrees of Capricorn. This will be in your 5th house. The 5th house is ruled by Leo, and it's the house of your creations, your creative ability, the things that you work on and put your time and energy into that you're proud of. It could also be like your children. It's your social life, where you go to blow off steam. It's your friendship circles as well. It's where you go to fall in love, and it's the house of sparks, the spark of life, the spark of love, and the spark of creation. There's also going to be a lot of 12th house focus for you throughout the month of July. You had a card flip, so that gives me the sign that it is time for me to cut the cards for you. The 12th house is traditionally ruled by Pisces, and it's the house of karma, self-limitation, repression, secrets, secret enemies. It's the dream space, and it can also be the subconscious mind as well. The bottom card will always represent the underlying theme or overarching energy for my spreads, and the top 3 are for clarity. If you need a time frame association for the cards, then past, present, future. Going to shuffle this Illuminated Tarot deck now. This deck is by Caitlin Keegan, and she has reduced the major arcana down into the minor arcana, and you can actually use this deck as a playing card deck. The 4 suits that are used in this deck are the traditional playing card suits: the hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. But I will give you the meaning for the card and also the traditional Rider-Waite meaning association with the card that was chosen for you for this spread, Virgo. This is a traditional. This is a general reading. Sorry, y'all. And the house placements that I speak of in this reading are based on that of a Virgo rising or ascendant chart. Doesn't mean that it won't be resonant for my Virgo suns or Virgo moons, but the house placements that I list in this video are for Virgo rising or Virgo ascendant. Let me cut this deck for you. There's your Illuminated Tarot card. Now let me shuffle the Divine Circus Oracle deck. Something else that I need to alert you to that I just noticed looking at my astrological notes while I'm shuffling is that, Virgo, you will be hosting the Mercury retrograde this go round. And Mercury's not going to go retrograde in July, but it will in August. It will actually go retrograde in between the lunar and solar eclipses that we will experience in August. So there will be a lot of energy shifts around you, and you will be playing a big part in that, or hosting that energy. Mercury is the planet of thought, movement, and communication, and it is your ruling planet. So you're going to really feel Mercury going retrograde. Probably have a difficult time with your communication, and communication devices may just feel like time is moving slower, or you're running into roadblocks and things aren't going the way they were planned. That sort of stuff. Let me cut this deck for you. And finally, the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck for my lovely Virgos for this July. Okay, Virgo, here is your Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card. Now what I'm going to do is hit the pause button. I'm going to flip these cards over, meditate, look at my astrology notes, and try to bring forth the best messages and information that I can for you. So, hang tight. I'll be right back, y'all. Hey, Virgo, I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, the card that kind of fell out of the deck while I was shuffling for you that indicated that it was time for me to cut, I kept out because I felt like it would be relevant to the reading or it would speak to some of you out there. Maybe not all of you, but some of you. That card was the Seven of Swords. The Seven speaks to the themes of faith. The swords can represent air sign energy. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I feel like this individual could be someone who showed up in your world around the Venus retrograde at the beginning of the spring. I say that because of the red hat on this character and the association with the card sometimes that comes with a Venus retrograde. The air signs are, like I said, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This card deals with betrayal, deception, theft, loss. I see this as very shady, hiding. This can be being openly deceptive or like hidden deception as well. This individual in this card is actually sneaking away with these townspeople who are distracted by this circus or fair back here. This is like carnival tents. Sneaking away with the swords, the weapons, the goods, the whatever. Maybe that you're finding out about some sort of deception or loss that probably occurred earlier in the year for some of you. Another interesting thing is that Neptune is transiting through your 7th house. Neptune is a planet that deals with nebulousness, illusion, imagination. It can be disillusionment. It can be mental illness. It can be fogginess of the mind. It can be addiction sometimes. 7th house is the house of your partnerships and your friendships, your relationships, how you identify who you are as an individual through those interactions with those other people in your world. It also deals with counseling and with open enemies. Now, the card that fell in the bottom position for you for this spread, Virgo, is the Ten of Swords. Now, some of y'all really may be feeling betrayed or stabbed in the back. The 10 speaks to the theme of completion. Swords, once again, air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This card indicates defeat, loss, crisis. Could be that some of you are dealing with back pain. Some of y'all may be needing surgery. What I like about this card is that it is the most swords you are going to get in the suit, so it is got to get better before, things have got to start turning up in this situation. Whatever it is that has got you feeling defeated, over it. Just like, I see this as like, stick a fork in it, I'm done. 10th house. Now, what's interesting here is that Venus is going to be moving into your 10th house on the 4th of July. Venus is the planet that represents love, beauty, harmony, money, resources, and the things that we value. 10th house is the house of Capricorn, traditionally, And I think of it through the lens of William Shakespeare, because he said all the world is a stage. And I think of the 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you through your career, your status, your reputation, your dealings with authority figures in your world, in your life, or experts in their field and authority in their field. The 10th house is also a house of destiny. So, there are situations in that 10th house that could be going on that are really debilitating. It can, I mean, this looks like depression. I would not be surprised if some of my Virgos out there are depressed over a loss or some sort of like betrayal, theft, really feeling stabbed in the back. Especially with this card jumping out of the deck to indicate that I needed to cut, with this card being the bottom card, you've still got a lot of swords in here. You're in your mind this entire month. Yeah. You're conflicted over something. You're conflicted over either you've been betrayed or someone has betrayed you, or you've betrayed someone and have been found out or called out. It really just depends on what's been going on in your personal world and what's happening in your personal chart. This is a general reading, like I said. The one thing that I do want to mention is that this card is, for me, the embodiment of it is always darkest before dawn. It is pitch black up here, but there's the dawn right there. Look at the water back here as well. There's been a lot of emotions in the background, or that have been being hidden, or that have just, they're trying to come to the surface in some way. It may be that the dawn is actually exposing how much emotion has been tied to the situation. It could be that the person or individual, if it isn't you, they could have been hiding it very well, and now they're finally coming clean, and it's an exposure to you. You're seeing it for the reality that it is. Wow. It feels powerful. It feels very, very powerful. The first card in the top three for clarity is the Six of Swords reversed. Now the Six, this card fell in the past position, so this could represent the past. Could be reflecting on the past and what all has gone on. Six of Swords deals with air sign energy. Once again, the swords are always going to be air signs, or like thought, communication in the mind, very cerebral. The six, the number 6, speaks to the issue of growth, and the 6 could also be the 6th house on the astrological wheel, and that is the house that you rule, Virgo. It's the house of your work and health. It's the daily life that you have and the things that you do on a very regular, daily, routine basis to make your world and body work as efficiently around you. It's also the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. So it could be that you are looking at career or looking at issues in career, and you feel like you've, in one way or another, possibly made a bad decision, if not you, someone close to you. In the upright, this card is about moving away from troubled waters. And in the reverse, I feel like it still represents the same energy, but it could be that you are, for some reason, trying to move away from the situation, but feeling stuck nonetheless. This card can deal with transition. Like I said, leaving trouble behind. It can also be seen as a rite of passage. So some of you may be reflecting on the past and a rite of passage that you had to endure or go through, and did maybe not even realize you were dealing with it at the time. But there's a lot of stuff going on inside your head, Virgo. Now, the card that's in the middle position, or representing the present situation, the present energy at hand, what I like is that from this past, there is something new coming forward. This is seen as the hand of God, divine intervention coming in with a pentacle, an ace of pentacles. The ace speaks to the energy of potential, so it isn't guaranteed. It hasn't fully manifested yet. It's not on the ground. It's still in the air. It could evaporate. But it's there right now. Understand that the potential is there. The potential for prosperity, the potential for manifestation, and the potential for growing something of material worth to you. The Pentacles represent earth sign energy, and that can be Taurus, Virgo, you, or Capricorn. It can also speak to your money, your resources, your health, the things that you would expend on another living thing or situation. It also could be a really good idea for business or for business, or for, it's a seed that you can plant that will yield something for you. You are going to have a new moon in Leo in your 12th house on the 23rd of the month, day before, day after, depending on where you live on the planet. And that 12th house is a karmic house, but it's also a house of secrecy. It's a house of subconscious and repression. It's a house of the dream state. So, maybe this could be representative of a karmic seed coming in or a karmic gift coming to you. I hope that's the case, because this makes me quite nervous for you, these first three cards. And not nervous bad, I can be quite a worrier. I know that you, Virgo, something that I mentioned earlier that I'm not even really bringing forth to the idea or bringing to this reading is the fact that your ruling planet, Mercury, which would definitely fall under the Swords energy, thought, movement, communication, is going to be moving into the sign of Virgo, coming home on the 25th of the month. And this is where Mercury will go retrograde next month. So at the end of June, I'm doing this in June. In the end of July, it could be that the issues that you are dealing with, you are going to be returning to. They're going to be coming back to you. So pay attention to what's going on at the end of the month, because it will be themes that you will see again throughout the month of August. And we will have eclipses in the month of August. And this may be highlighting the eclipses. I'm not really sure how it's playing out for each of you. I'm trying to give you as many different interpretations as I can, as this is a general reading. Now, the card that fell in the future position, which is why it's so interesting, the direction that the swords are pointing in. They're pointing towards the past, and they're pointing towards this Pentacles. The Nine of Swords can speak to the energy of, well, the 9 speaks to the energy of fruition. Think of having a 10-chapter book, and you just got finished with the last chapter, the last page of chapter 9. So you're almost to the end, but not fully. Swords are, again, the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but I also feel like this could be for many of you speaking to that Mercury retrograde that's going to happen in your sign. Mercury's coming home at the end of July and preparing for the retrograde motion. You'll hear more about that in your August videos. But this is probably a heads up like, hey guys, Mercury's going to go retrograde. This Nine of Swords deals with anxiety, depression, despair, and insomnia. I do like the fact that it's in reverse, because if it was forward, then it would be like this would be something that would be extending into the month of August for you, this despair, this anguish. It's like just sadness, just getting over something in your head, or communication, or something to that effect. The 9 could also speak to the 9th house on the astrological wheel, and that is the house of Sagittarius. It's your worldview expanded through study or travel. It's long-distance trips, higher education. It is the study of foreign languages, religion, philosophy, astrology, metaphysics, legal system matters, political system matters. It rules over foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things as well. It's a very higher-minded, long, worldly traveler kind of house. Some of you may be dealing with a Sagittarius from your past. And that's what's causing this anguish. You may be dealing with resolution of a situation that needed to be talked about for a long time. I could see for some of you Virgos, this being like child support issues. Or custody issues. And this being like either your baby's coming home to you, or you get to see your child more, or the money changes. It's something like that. And it feels like it's a big shift. It's not a little shift. It's a big one. Oh, goodness gracious. I just got finished talking. Okay, here we go. I just got finished talking about child support and stuff like that. The tarot math ended up being 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 speaks to the house of children. And your pleasure and your falling in love and romance. And it is where you have, it's where your heart would bleed the most. It's the house of Leo. Leo rules the heart. It's where you go to be a child. It's where you go to blow off steam and hang out with your friends and make your art or do the things that you love to do. It's where you fall in love and where you make your babies. It can be dealing with your children or, yeah. It's making a little bit more sense now. And yeah, that's why you would be in your head so much, honestly. If it's dealing with your child or something like that, it's a very, very intense situation and a very serious situation. Even more so because we've got this full moon that will be occurring in that 5th house for you. And that's going to be on the 9th of July. Full moon at 17 degrees of Capricorn in the 5th house. And what else is interesting is Pluto is transiting through Capricorn. So this full moon's also going to have a feeling of Plutonic energy. And Pluto is deep transformation, deep change, and it's constant change. It's constant renewal. I think of a Pluto transit much like coastal erosion. It is something that's occurring at all times, but we just don't see it for what it is unless we have a meta perspective. You've got to have a before and after picture to really see how much has changed. I got chills on that. Pluto transiting through the 5th house, it can feel like there's been some loss in the 5th house as well, which is definitely why these cards are coming up the way I guess that they came up. Isn't it interesting how the cards speak with the astrology? Now, let's move on to your illuminated tarot card. If it will cooperate with me. Okay. So, the Illuminated Tarot deck is by Caitlin Keegan, and like I said, she reduced the major arcana into the minor arcana. This card deck can be used as a playing deck, and the card that fell for you was the Ace of Spades. It is a card of focus and clarity. Once again, the energy of potential. Now, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, it could be another divine intervention situation, the hand of God, a great idea, or the defense of an idea. It can also be winning an argument or winning a case. This Ace of Swords deals with power, victory, and clarity. It could also be cutting cords and cutting to the truth of the matter. The cutting of cords, it would be like this growth right here. This is actually growth, and this has been cut away. Present, past. That's how I see it. Goodness gracious, it feels like July is going to be an intense month for y'all. The Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card that I pulled for you, Virgo, is the Labradorite card. It deals with new beginnings and creativity. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the third eye and the crown chakra. It reads, Labradorite is the stone of the dark moon. It draws down the energy of the night, the mysteries of the universe, and the depth of your soul. It promotes creativity and it facilitates new beginnings. You have pulled this card because you are being summoned to take the helm of a new project or intention. So meditate with Labradorite to manifest your bold new intentions, bring new creations to life, and harness moon magic. This is what Labradorite looks like. From the Divine Circus Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild, I pulled for you the 31st card of the deck. It is the crown of the butterfly Bambini. Butterflies. Whenever I see a butterfly, I think of the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of Scorpio, and it is the house of life, death, and rebirth. It's other people's money and sexuality. It's transformation, regeneration, metamorphosis. It's also your human, basic, or primal instincts. So, this is a card of transformation. This is indicating that transformation is an ability. It's an art. It can be a sacred power. It requires the ability for you to go through the death of an old self to be born again or reborn again. The cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This card reminds you that it takes great strength and flexibility to embrace the grace and embody the themes of the bamboo plant. Think about this. How strong is bamboo? How flexible is bamboo? Bamboo can break, but it will bend over backwards before it does. Are you doing more bending or more breaking, Virgo? Understand that the flexibility that you possess will indicate just how far, how deep, how wide the transformation can be in you. The Butterfly Bambini card begs you to believe in your innate ability to transform, to rise above. It asks that you trust in what is happening right now, that it is pulling you to where you need to be. Now, like I said, this is the 31st card in the deck. 3 + 1 is 4. That speaks to the 4th house on the astrological wheel. And for you Virgo risings out there, you've got Saturn going through the 4th house. And that's a very difficult transit to go through. Saturn is the planet of structure, containment, and limitation. I think of Saturn as the building code inspector. We have 12 houses on our astrological wheel, and each house undergoes about a 2.5-year transit through Saturn, going through each one of those houses. Saturn will shake that house to its core to test it. And if it's not built to code, then it will have to be demolished and rebuilt. That is the nature of Saturn. It can suck when you're going through it. I remember asking myself when Saturn was going through my ascendant sign, I'm a Scorpio rising. When Saturn was in Scorpio, I would constantly ask myself, what did I do to piss God off? And that may very much resonate with some of how you are feeling right now. Check the structure of your home, where you live, where you consider home to be. Check the structure of your family. Check the structure of your own roots and foundations, your bones, your teeth, your philosophy, your religion, your ideals, your strongly held beliefs. Check the structural integrity of all of those things, because Saturn will test them. Saturn has been testing them. Have you been bending or breaking? Virgo, that's what I've got for you for this month. I'm sorry the video was so long, but you had an extra card. There was a lot going on for y'all, and it just felt like a really intense reading, and I wanted to give you the best that I could. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I do this to empower you, not to terrify you. I feel like forewarned is forearmed, and you are better equipped with knowing what could be playing out in your world as opposed to reacting to it. You can be a little proactive. I'm sending you a lot of love, Virgo. I do hope that you're well. Please take care of yourself, and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about. And if that happens to be you right now, please do reach out and speak to someone about what you're going through, because it looks like it's a lot. Once again, I'm sending you so much love. Please take care of yourself. I do hope that you're well, and I hope that July is much better than what these cards are looking like for you. If this was completely wrong, please indicate in the comments down below. But if it resonated, let me know as well. Take care, Virgo. I will see you soon, but until then, namaste. I love y'all, and bye.